home. Ha! What a match! India versus Sri Lanka after very long, time. I'm be watching a match which is an ODI, which goes so thrilling. After a very low scoring, and India enters final with this winning performance, which is very good. Uh, there are few ups and downs, definitely few takeaways from this game. But definitely this win will motivate India, because you're gonna get, as Rohit said, you're gonna get a lot of such wickets in India. When you play such a long tournament, you would have situations where you would be down, you would have a situations where you need to come up. And this match was an ideal preparation, for a World Cup match. I felt very strong, because uh, a place like Lucknow, a place like even Delhi at times, Chennai, obviously, you can't just predict. Most apart from Ahmedabad, where or a Wankade, you might feel it is gonna be a flat track. But other than that, India has this pitch which all of a sudden can turn on a given day. You cannot expect much, because it's not a summer, it's not a end of a summer where the wickets would be dry. It is a start of a season, anywhere you go in India now, because and ideally it is during the winter, which I'm not happy about, tournament being played at this time of a season, because ideally I don't want any game to be washed out, which might be the case, I feel. uh, yeah, so this is an ideal preparation, I felt. What could have been done better? Few things, few takeaways, as I would say, is still in terms of what target that we set. Right. So in a game like this, it is very important to play out 50 overs with your 6 7 batsmen. That is the most important part. You should have targeted somewhere at 240 to 50 to 60, and then take whatever that comes to you, above that. Did we look too much ahead and then started losing wickets? That was one thing. I felt someone like a wicket of Ishan Kishan made a huge difference there, because he was kind of a set. Was there a necessity of a shot? That, I mean, it is just that brand of cricket that he plays, which came really well with the first match against Pakistan, which almost did. I mean, he had a wonderful partnership, no mistake in that. But yeah, again, which that is one area we need to really think about. If there is a turn in the wicket, if there is something that wicket does, India is literally struggling to play spinners. That is just continuing. We do not have that brand of cricket where once in India they were like legends of playing spins. But now it is not that case, because of the pace and the wicket pace in the game, because of the evolution of T20 cricket, where you go and attack every bowler or stuff. uh, India have started off late, started to struggle spin a lot. And Akshar Patel, the reason why Chahal, missed out this at a squad of 15 from of Indian team, was just because of Aksar's batting, and that crucial 26 made a huge difference. But at the same time, Aksar's bowling needs to be really looked at. He looked completely, how do we put it, he looked like he was playing in a different pitch, because he was so easy to pick. He was trying to bowl quicker ones every ball after ball. It was at 98, 95, 98, 95 is what he was bowling at. The speed which he was bowling at, he there was not a single ball that might have turned and beaten the bat of the edge of the players, Sri Lankan players, is what I felt. His 5 overs was just easily played out by by the Sri Lankan batters. Sri Lankan batters don't take them lightly, because they would have played enough spinners in their life, and still, if you have to beat them on a spinning track, then that's great. But eventually, Aksar's we really felt Chahal was missed in that wicket as a bowler, but then Aksar's batting was very key. At the same time, Aksar should focus on his, to contribute, whenever there is a possibility, especially when such a track is there where spin was the key, and if he could not contribute anything, then that's a worrying point for India. Definitely, it's a worrying point for India. But again, Bumrah and Siraj, the start that they gave, wow, amazing. They did not bowl much loose balls, and they kept going after the batters, and then consistent maiden overs. I guess there are about three maiden overs in the first 8 overs itself. So that was the key, and the three wickets. Amazing stuff. Or that one moment when Bumrah actually slipped during his follow through, when he twisted his ankle, the entire Indian cricket team fans' heart was there in their mouth, because we all know what Bumrah brings onto the table, when he leads the attack. The overall power of the bowling team, or the face of the bowling team looks completely different. The way that he swings the ball, irrespective of the wicket, how it is, that was missing last month or last year or so, when Mumra was not there. It is no disrespect to the other players or other bowlers, but then that is something that we wanted. We want a captain in bowling who can lead from the front, and give a good note. I mean, as has how much ever bowling batting partnership, opening partnership is important, bowling partnership is also as much as important. The opening spell is very, very, very important, and Bumrah provided that. And Hardik in that middle over, I mean, in the end, he was amazing. He just started with 1 over in the first 10 overs, and then he went on to just watch Jadu's and Kuldeep's magic. And after that, at the end, when Aksar was going for runs, uh, what a spell of 4 overs that he had bowled. He literally felt like taking wicket in every single ball. That was an amazing stuff. These kind of wickets, as I said, bowlers like Hardik, bowlers like even Shardul, someone like an Bumrah, who could bowl those cutters as well as those pace at 140, 145, would make a huge difference. And an amazing spell from Hardik and Kuldeep and Jadu. If India have to win the World Cup, definitely the tournament have to be won by the bowlers. It has always been said matches can be won by batters, one or two matches, but if India had to win the tournament, these five bowlers needs to strike really well. Starting from Bumrah and Siraj, the opening spell, supportive role of Hardik, Shardul or Aksar, whoever is playing, and then in middle, in the 10th and 40th over, between that 10th and 40th over, Jadu and Kuldeep needs to strike. Kuldeep, again, as said, any track he could be the game changer of our team, but Chadu only on a spinning track is something that's gonna worry. But if even if it is not a spinning track, if he could control at one end and Kuldeep could strike at the other end, that would be really, really, really a good weapon to have. And yeah, and an amazing thing is what I would say about Rohit's captaincy. Captainship was amazing. The change of bowlers, the confidence that belief that he had in each of the bowlers was really, really, really the key to victory. He never felt it is gone. That was very key. I felt maybe he could have brought in Jadu, or Hardik, or someone, a bit early when Aksar was going, but it worked out. I mean, I could. It was his mastermind where he kept that 2 overs of Jadu and 1 over of Kuldeep later on. Once the partnership was going on well, they knew that even one crack of that partnership, and the remaining three can be taken by Kuldeep. So that was the key, and it really worked out. Once 8 wicket is gone, it just took 3 balls for Kuldeep to wrap it up. And on the other hand, what an amazing day, what an amazing talent this Volalage is of Sri Lanka Test, 20 years old. It's amazing. And it was, if someone have to feel bad, it is only for him. An amazing game that he had. He played on his own. If Sri Lanka would have won, it was just because of him. The way that he played was an amazing talent. He's an amazing talent with ball, bat, and on the field as well. He took a couple of catches, one on his own bowling and one on Slanga's bowling, if I'm not wrong. So the problem here again for India is we don't have anyone in the top 4 or 5 who could hold their arm over. Think about a game like today. If India had mistakenly read a pitch of any pitch for that matter, as in it would assist the fast bowler, and then they had Shardul Thakur in the team instead of Aksar Patel. Even Aksar didn't do much better today. uh, what would have happened? We would have only 20 overs of spin. We don't have someone like Suresh Raina, or a Shehwag, or a Yuvraj or Patan, anyone who could have rolled over 5 or 6 crucial overs. Any team, even in now, in a 50 over game today, uh, South Africa looked like they would have got to 360, 370, 380 the way that they started, but then they had a Travis head. He Don't forget, they don't have Maxwell, but they did had Travis Head. So think about an Australia team which has Travis Head, which has Maxwell, and then they have two spinners. Uh, you know, mm, what is Zampa and the what was the other person's name? I don't remember. Wagner? No, I don't remember the left armer. Okay, so they would literally have four, bowlers. Hardly if 10-10, and then other two-person can bowl another 15 or short. They would have easily got 35-40 good overs of spin in a Chennai condition. And then they still have Pat Cummins, Hazelwood to kickstart the opening spell as well. So that is the key. We need to have. I don't know where would they go for now. I don't know. We could see that Surya Kumar Yadav is rolling his arms in nets. He knows that is a necessity for if at all he has to come into this uh, playing 11. It is very necessity. I don't see a place now, but yeah. So that is one area we would really lack, but that is only the only thing that we can look after the World Cup. Until the World Cup, we're not gonna get anybody now as of now, unless and other than Rohit. I don't know why Rohit stopped bowling, but yeah, he could have been a good bowler. I don't know why he stopped. So overall, it was a fantastic game. I really felt this game as in a 96, 97, 98 during those days when I started watching the match very closely. 220s and 200s, 210, and these were very competitive scores, and that's how I felt. Very good game, and feel sad for Lalake at the same time. Good thing to, good thing India had won this game. Now against Bangladesh, are we gonna see a changeover? Are we gonna see some changes, or India gonna play the same team? See, it's a tricky thing, 50 overs is completely different from one day in terms of intensity, but at the same time, it is, longevity of the game will take a toll out of you. So any hard games as such of these, will really take the toll out of you. And India now have played 3 days in continuous. So not just 3 days, just even before the World Cup starts, we're gonna have continuous games on the roll, with Asia Cup final being held on 17th, and then immediately at 22nd or something, when the following week we are starting to play with so Australia. So likewise, they're going to be continuous games. Even World Cup is like 9 games in a row, and if you're going into finals, 12 games in a row in a matter of 2 months or something. So it's not going to be easy. So we need to be prepared and plan for any injuries as well. And we already had a lot of injuries and comebacks and stuff. On this note, I would wanted to say about KL Rahul here. What an amazing comeback! What an amazing knock! This is why even when everybody else questioned, Indian team management backed KL Rahul, Shreyas Iyer, for that matter, Jasprit Bumrah. We all know that these guys have done for this team, and whenever they are back, they can do it for the team. They didn't show any rustness. But again, there's one point I would wanted to put it here is his keeping. It's always good to have the best of your minds in the field as a keeper. That will make a huge difference for your team, especially during these chases and stuff. He could read the team, he could read the game, he could read the batsman, and help his bowlers. But I would still want to see who's gonna be a keeper. Is it Kishan or KL? I don't want to see drop catch here and there. I mean, for God's sake, it's not happened, but I'm somewhat worrying because me being a keeper, and recently we played a semi-finals and I took an amazing catch, but on the same game I had, I could have taken one. I dropped, and then that costed us the game. So that's wicket keeper's life. Eventually, you take a lot of one, but the one that you miss might be the costliest one. So hope that doesn't happen. And even in fielding, India needs to put a little more uh, focus and cautious. I don't know. I personally don't feel, apart from Jaddu, there is we don't have any others who's like who has amazing fielder. Uh, yeah, and Virat Kohli to an extent is an amazing fielder, rocket arm, stuff like that. But uh, not comparing with Chatu, but yeah, we need to really focus on that. Singles needs to be cut down. No twos when it's at you. When it's at you, uh, Ishan Kishan is a better fielder or a keeper? That's a good question. Rahul better fielder or a keeper? Those questions again needs to be looked at. But then overall, we have moved into finals. Are we going to see some changes in the matches against Bangladesh? Is that something also we would need to wait and watch? Which I would feel might happen. One or two people, maybe a Bumrah rest, and then we would try Shami and Prasidh Krishna for that matter. Uh, I don't know. Maybe they would try. Maybe they would try a different combination as well. Uh, Will I drop Kuldeep? No, because he's on the flow. Let him go for the flow. Is something that we would look at. Any change in the batting orders or batsmen would be replaced. Surya Kumar Yadav can be brought in, but in whose place would be a question again. Would Rohit Sharma rest himself, or would Virat Kohli would be rested? Again, something we need to be wait and watching. Uh, Overall, a good game, a fantastic game after a very, 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 very long day in ODI cricket, and we'll catch up after the final. Thank you guys. நல்லா இருப்போம், நல்லா இருப்போம், எல்லாரும் நல்லா இருப்போம்.